Fine guys, back here, part 4 of women's wrestling. Okay, so we think we can get 4 girls out of anywhere and we can put a show on?
If they're hot, the people will come. Figuratively and figuratively.
So if we went to Lane Show down here in Austin, and I said, hey girls, let me get 6 of you, we can have an old wrestling match. And,
if you can pay them.
Can I buy a ticket right now? That's all I want to know.
Exactly. It's gonna get over.
Would y'all actually go buy a ticket?
I mean, look at it now.
Probably be
Honestly,
honest,
look at it now. Look at it now. You got strip clubs now that offer oil wrestling matches because the simple fact is people will come in there and they will see it. They want to see that. That's what they want to see. Everything. Yes, Texas has some good girl workers, women workers that can actually work, and it's sad for them because they can actually really work. But the thing is, like Darkstar said, the fans, the male fans that come to see women wrestling or come to see wrestling, you say there's women wrestling going to be there, want to see them half naked, boobs sticking out, or showing something.
They're the ones, to be honest with you, Vince has sort of set that trend within the industry. They're trying to break it now with like a Karma or Awesome Kong or whatever you want to call her. But in my opinion, but in my opinion, how do you put one person in that spot that can wrestle and then you have a whole bunch of shit around?
I mean, let's
ODB was all set.
But what she had to do, she always grabbed her boobs.
But here's the deal.
In her crotch.
In a wrestling mentality, we've gotten away from the Alundra Blazes, who wore the full body suits. She never showed any of her body. It was always,
and that shit didn't get over.
She was over for her time.
You could roll Alundra Blaze and shit, and she wouldn't draw flies.
But the day you show Sable with her hand-printed titties,
who did she work in all those matches? What about Mae Young? Who did Alundra Blaze work? I guarantee you, none of one of you guys can pull up the name. What about back in the old days? Bull Nakano. Nobody knows. She's an ugly fat Chinese.
What about way back in the old days when you got the
Fabulous Wikipedia mindset
and Mae Young?
What about Mae Young?
What about Ferris Wheel and Mae Young? What about back then?
Well, think about it. Mae Young didn't really become. Mae Young didn't become known until she gave birth to Mark Henry's fucking hand.
And that
you know what I'm saying?
I knew about her though. But I'm a hardcore.
Again, you're the hardcore wrestling fan.
What about
you're like all of us. You're a student of the game. So I mean, you almost have to disqualify your opinion. You do not.
Which woman wrestler did y'all actually grow up watching?
Alundra Blaze.
Medusa?
Who's Alundra Blaze?
Exactly.
Yes, same person.
Exactly.
They wrestled Wendy Richter.
I hate to say it, but
honestly, when I was coming up, women wrestling wasn't that big.
Moolah had that one match with Wendy Richter.
Honestly, when I was coming up,
phenomenal.
When I was coming up,
honestly, when
wasn't that big. I mean, I was in the Midwest. It was AWA. You know, it was Iceman King Parsons. It was
you do Sunshine. You do Sunshine then.
Yeah,
but Sunshine was a worker. Same way with like Baby Doll.
I mean, when I came into wrestling though, women weren't the workers. It was Miss Elizabeth who was the valet, and
God rest her soul.
Sonny.
Right.
And Sonny. But the thing was,
let's get back to the root of those two females, as I feel that it relates to the root of all the women in wrestling today.
Agreed.
They're in wrestling to be around wrestlers or to be with wrestlers. Whether they started the business with them or without them, most women wrestlers are in the wrestling business to be with wrestlers or to be around wrestlers.
Well, all of y'all watch women workers right now. All of y'all do right. All U.S. Which women worker right now could you actually put in the ring with a real person? The only person I can think of is Rachel Stillman right now.
I would even say
that's the only person I can think of.
I would go to venture Sarah Del Rey.
Sarah Del Rey.
Sarah Del Rey is a phenomenal worker.
I would honestly say, I would say Rachel. I would say Jessica James.
Jessica James.
Jessica James is good.
That's two Texas workers right there.
Jessica James work guys as well as women.
I've worked Bobby Hayden in a hardcore match. It was a phenomenal match.
I mean, it's three Texas workers.
But
Wallace, you got anybody who would you like to step foot in the ring with as a female worker?
Sorry, a cookie.
A female worker.
He does love to eat the pie.
As far as a female worker,
that's a vagina joke.
Any female worker that I think I'd like to work. Maybe ODB. I mean, just for the simple fact that we probably weigh about the same, and she'd probably beat my ass just as much.
Don't give yourself that much credit, bro.
I will say this much though. I'm a huge fan of Chain, and of all the women workers in Texas I've seen, I would like to get in the ring with a dear friend of mine who's Amanda Fox. The girl, despite anything else, the girl can chain. And I have to give it to her. She can chain very well.
I don't watch women's wrestling, man. So
You don't-
I don't know.
He does with the Muton
When it
and the
comes on
lotion.
TNA and WWE, man, I gotta fast
Well, you
forward
know-
because it's terrible.
Well, you know, none of y'all
Nowadays.
mentioned another woman's worker that's down this area is Claudia.
Okay.
Claudia's a good worker. Yes or no?
The Dallas one?
When she
Again,
wants
I
to
don't-
apply herself, she will work her ass off.
I really don't pay attention to her, to be honest.
Like I said, I don't
think-
watch women's
I think
matches.
she's a good worker and everything. It's just, I mean, honestly, and it's not just her. Okay, and I'll say this now. So if you listen to this, Claudia, don't take it personal. I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about there's a lot of other female workers here in Texas that have this attitude now that their shit don't stink, or they can't work with another female because of this, because she puts it in too hard, or she doesn't want to do this and let me get my shit over and everything.
He didn't put it in that
My
part.
thing is, if
He knows.
they
This
should
guy
be able
knows.
to work together.
I was there.
And that's the problem with a lot of the women workers is they don't work together. They're too busy trying to get their own shit in and everything. But that's even in the male division.
I was gonna say that's true for guys too, because I mean, there's plenty of male workers who are pussy ass bitches about the simplest shit.
I'm working for the
They
belt now.
don't want to work with anybody. They
Right
don't want to
now,
get
for
themselves
sure.
over. There's no point in it. The reason you shake somebody's hand when you walk in that goddamn locker room is because without that other person, you don't have a fucking match. You can't get yourself over by yourself. You need your opponent.
And that's
You
the
need somebody to work with, and nobody wants to work
And that's
with
the problem.
anybody.
I don't know. All due respect, Shawn Michaels could wrestle this fucking table right now, and Shawn Michaels would get himself and the table over.
Right, but we're talking about
I've
Texas
seen a
guys. We're
Japanese
talking about
worker
these indie
run
workers.
over a ghost.
Let's get off the tip. I got one last question before I end this because
Right, thank God.
I've seen matches
Angel
with
has to go home.
blow-up dolls before that were good.
That was a phenomenal match.
Yes.
Let's talk about one person
Google Yoshihiko and
who
watch
took
that
his
shit.
ball and went home. You know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I love you. I love your boy. What do you think about Ryan Johnson?
Pussy whipped.
I love your boy. You know,
I don't know
love
the
Ryan.
situation. You know, I don't know a lot of people here that
told
know the
Ryan I'd say
situation. I know where his heart is. He wishes he could be here.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think that you can hold him accountable for things that he does not have control over. For
Sorry,
whatever,
this lady again.
for whatever reason that he doesn't have control over. Like I said, I cannot speak to his circumstances. I can just
As a
tell you,
worker.
as far as I've always known him, he is a well-meaning individual.
I will
There's
say-
a lot of people in this business who I would approach. See, there was a lot of times that I worked him. It was for months. It was at the Lucha shows. It was me and JoJo versus the Angola Express, and I put his face in nachos. I've come out eating the man's food. I've given the man the Dan Shoko driver, which means the hand inside my pants, pile driver. So, I mean, as far as a worker goes, he was open to everything. He was willing to work with anybody. He could have his moments, but can't we all? Don't we all have our own moments?
As far as that goes, I love him to death, but I just think he needs to focus. He needs to focus on what he really wants, focus on what matters to him. It's like Darkstar said, it can go with the best of them. But if your head and your heart aren't in the same place, everybody's got their moments.
Let use without
We'll come
sin.
back to you.
Cast the first stone at Eli.
Exactly.
I'll say this much about Eli. I never understood why he did what he did. I would make fun of him constantly, but I was in not as intense of a situation, but in a similar situation where I understood what he was going through, where you were willing to put over something for a girl, and you really do think that's everything you want, despite the fact that as a child, wrestling is all you ever wanted. So I'm not going to knock him on a personal level, because when you meet who you think is that perfect person, everything else doesn't matter. But what I will say is this: What I will say is, in the long run, you got to know what you want.
Me? I know this is hard for you. You know I love Ron to death. Wish he was here right now, sitting in this corner.
It is tough.
B, it's okay. He's not dead.
He's only 120 miles away from here.
No, it's tough because I took him in when he didn't have shit. Okay, and I miss him to death.
I think we all do.
But he's gotta do things on his own. Okay, he's gotta figure things out on his own. And people think, oh, B's being a bitch right now and everything. But this is a subject that's dear to me. I mean, as far as him leaving, he left for his reasons, and that's his choice. He knows Team XL is always going to be in my heart, but I have to go on and do my singles thing and do everything, you know, and move on my life. But the thing is, he always knows he has a home at TCW. He always has a home here. If he wants to come back, you're always welcome to come back. But as a worker, like Darkstar said, the dude would get in there with anybody and do some hellified shit that I don't see most people doing, you know.
I wouldn't do a Phoenix Splash.
From a worker's point of view and everything, I think that Ryan will be missed. I know when we go to TWF, the kids always ask about where he's at, when is he coming back.